Understanding the law is the first step to fighting back. Here's what the Department of Homeland Security just decided, and what it means for your family. A new DHS memo, filed quietly in a federal court in Minnesota this week, changes the rules for roughly 100,000 refugees who entered the United States legally under the previous administration. Under prior policy, refugees who hadn't yet applied for a green card were protected from arrest and detention. That protection is now gone. Here's what happened. During the Biden years, the United States admitted approximately 200,000 refugees, people who fled persecution in their home countries, and went through years of extreme vetting before being allowed in. About half of them completed the path to a green card. The other half have been waiting. Some missed the one-year application window because of language barriers, address changes, confusion about the process, or funding cuts to the resettlement organizations that help people navigate the paperwork. DHS itself cut funding to many of those organizations. Now, the administration says any refugee who has been in the country for a year without a green card is subject to arrest, detention, and possible deportation. The memo instructs USCIS and ICE to detain and inspect these individuals, and says DHS may hold them in custody for the entire duration of that review process. This is a significant legal shift. The law has long required refugees to apply for a green card after 1 year in the country, but failing to apply for any reason was never previously treated as grounds for arrest. The new memo says that prior guidance was wrong, and that this policy controls going forward. The administration's stated justification is national security and public safety revetting. Judge John Tunheim in Minnesota already rejected that framing last month. He found that none of the refugees arrested under Operation Paris had been deemed a danger to the community, a flight risk, or charged with any deportable offense. He wrote that they are people admitted because of persecution in their home countries, with a legal right to be in the United States. Advocacy organizations, including USCIS, are calling this a retroactive punishment for people who relied on the rules as they existed when they arrived. The International Refugee Assistance Project filed a legal challenge this week. A preliminary injunction hearing is set for February 25th. That is when Judge Tunheim will decide whether to extend the temporary protection already in place for Minnesota refugees, or allow detentions to resume. If you or someone you know came to the United States as a refugee and has not yet received a green card, consult an immigration attorney immediately. Do not wait. Document your legal entry, your residence, and your work history. If you receive any notice from USCIS or ICE, do not ignore it and do not respond without legal counsel. This policy has not yet been fully litigated. Courts may block it, but the window for action is narrow, and the risk of detention while the legal process plays out is real. Stay informed and know your rights. Record today, protect tomorrow.